Oh, damn, you guys missed it. So, I did not bring my microphone because when I don't have like a wind protector for the microphone. So, audio quality isn't the greatest, but it's better than hearing the wind all the fucking time through the whole damn video. Which you might still hear a little wind. Because I am on a hike, but yeah. But you guys missed it back there. There was 2 little birds bathing themselves in like the shallow part of the river. And damn, I should not have gone this way. Because, yeah. Look how beautiful it is, though. I don't know if you guys can even... Birds over there. Oh shit. I guess I should not have gone this way. So lately, I've been doing live streams because like I said I wasn't gonna drop a video until my last few videos got up to 100 views. But like I said before, when I said that, I then was like, oh, I want to make a video. But there's a few things I want to talk about. But someone's riding that thing in the river. Life can change drastically on you, and it's more than it can change drastically on you. Life will change drastically on you. And that's okay. Or we have to find a way to make that okay. So beautiful. So one thing I really do want to talk about is, you know how I say all the time, and I've been saying this since like, I watched an old video of mine when I said this shit in 2017, where I was like, I don't want to be right. And when I tell people that, they're like, oh yeah, man, they're like, because they assume everyone wants to be right because so many of us are controlled by our egos. So like, when I let go of my ego, and you know how like a lot of psychedelic people will talk about ego death. The ego never dies because it dies when we die. It dies with the body. But it's more like ego reformment. More like we have to train the ego, tame the ego. Instead of having the ego control us, we control the ego. Because I'll have conversations with people and they'll be like, you know, psychedelic people will claim that they had an ego death, but they're more ego than before or some shit like that. And then they call it a spiritual ego. But when you're judging someone else's thing, that's your ego. Like, a lot of it is ego. And that's not bad, but it's bad if it's fucking your shit up, if it's fucking your life up, if it's fucking your perspective up, then it becomes bad. So like I use my ego, and it's how I've been able to become who I am today. It's how I was able to become my greatest version. It's how I was able to get in shape. It's how I was able to slowly become a better father. It's how I was able, like, the ego is the drive. It's like a driving energy, right? But if it's not under control, it'll drive the car instead of being the passenger in the car. It should be the passenger, not the driver. And I don't know. It's just, we get too attached to the ego, to wanting to be right, to wanting things to work out. So, like, I was telling my daughter this the other day, right? Because we was talking about success for a little bit. And I was explaining to her that as much as I want success, I don't really care if this shit works out or not. Like, it's already worked. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not attached to the success. I'm just being, living, expressing, expanding, right? Which is why I say I don't want to be right. I just want to expand. I just want to grow. Like, when it comes to learning knowledge, I just love learning. You know how, like, some people like going to concerts. Some people like going to festivals. Some people like playing video games. Some people like whatever. I like learning. I like expanding. Like, this psychedelic journey for me has been just a journey of life, right? It's just life. But I've had the time of my life on this journey of life, because once I got my perspective under control, I realized life will never be what we think. Like, you can get rich, but it's not going to bring you the thing that you think it's going to bring you. You can get successful, but it's not going to bring you the thing you think it's going to bring you. You can be new to psychedelics, new to this, and it's like you can try to kill your ego, but it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. Like, it's never really what we think it is. Which is why it's like, I'm okay with being wrong. I'm okay with not knowing. I'm okay with, like, I was thinking this on my last trip that I had. I was on this trip, and sometimes when I trip, because I got into psychedelics by using DMT, so sometimes when I trip, it's just complete silence. Pitch black silence. And, well, I guess sometimes it's not pitch black, it's just I close my eyes or whatever. But, like, even in an LSD trip, like, I'll have the music playing, but if it comes to a point where I need that peace, that whatever, I'll just sit in silence, right? And so I was sitting in silence, and it came to me. Well, there was this weird Icaro's type song, type melody thing that came to me, but I'll talk about that in a second. But no, the thing that came to me is that with my whole thing that I do on YouTube, with my whole journey in general, from the psychedelic journey to the music journey to the philosophy journey to the being a parent journey, right? The whole thing's a journey, but for me, I'm okay with failing. I'm okay with completely failing the journey. I'm okay with me dying, and let's say my YouTube channel never blows up. Let's say I never get big. Let's say nothing ever good, great happens from this shit. I'm okay with that. Like, I was in this trip and I was accepting the fact that things might not work out. It might fail. But I'm okay with that. Like, I'm so okay with that. That's why it goes back to, I'm okay with being wrong. The same reason why I'm okay being wrong is the same reason why I'm okay if none of this shit works out. But I've had the time of my life, this whole fucking journey. That's why I was trying to explain to my daughter, like, what is success? Because when somebody says they want success, what they want is to be rich. What they want is to be able to travel the world. What they want is to succeed at whatever they're doing. Like, if I said I wanted success, people would think that meant I want a successful YouTube channel. I want to be successfully doing my music or my DJing or doing seminars, or I successfully want to. And it's like, no, bro, I'm already successful. I have already made it. Like, I don't know. Because I think it's a mindset, bro. Like, I don't know. Because I was just thinking about all this shit during this trip about how, like, I don't need anything to work because it's already worked. I could be forgotten. Like, I could die and be forgotten. Like, I never even came here. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not knowing. Like, I don't know, bro. This shit, I don't want to sit on a spider. But it was an interesting trip. Because it kind of brought me back to some of the thoughts I had, like, in 2017. Like, when I first, like, started mentioning it on video, it's like, well, I don't want to be right. Because at that time, I still had that, like, little thug in me, you know what I mean? So at that time, I was like, well, I don't want to be right. But then people would be like, oh, you know it all and shit like that. Like, and I would just try to explain to them, bro, like, I barely know how to fucking write and read. I don't even know, like, I just learned where the right punctuation goes. Sentence. Like, obviously, I don't know it all. But if someone comes to you and says you're a know-it-all, that means that, like, it's their ego. And I don't know, this is why I say it's not about killing the ego, it's about controlling the ego and understanding that when you get your ego under control, most people will not have their ego under control. And that's okay. Other people are not your concern. The way other people live life is not your problem. And whether someone knows it all or not is not your problem. Like, that's a you problem, right? Because that's how you feel, because it's your perspective. This is why it's like, life is based on our perspective. Because, like, when I die, I could die a complete fucking failure compared to other people. Like, they might look at me as a failure, but I might die feeling as a success. And there's someone that's rich as fuck that's gonna die feeling like a failure, but then they're gonna be remembered like they were successful. Like, life is weird. What's going on, DMT Infinity? He says, it's like, yeah, I'm telling you, 1 + 1 = 2. It's not being a toxic know-it-all. It's about me knowing it all when it comes to 1 + 1 = 2. Bro, you said that so perfectly. And bro, you're good. I actually didn't, because DMT Infinity says, I'm sorry I'm late, fam. But, no, you're good, bro, because I actually didn't even really expect to have anyone in the live stream, really, per se. Because, like, I'm just on this hike. I just wanted to talk. Had a lot of shit on my mind. And, like, I was just going to turn the camera on. Originally, I was going to make a video, but I'm sticking to my guns when I said I'm not going to drop a video until those last, couple of videos are at 100 views. And they're almost there. They're getting there. But because of that, I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll just talk about what I wanted to talk about in the video here. But, man. Oh, that's dope. DMT Infinity says he was late because he was replying to a couple of his sponsors. He has 2 new paid sponsorship projects coming up. That's awesome, bro, for real. I've had a few people ask me to, like, sponsor their products or whatever, and I don't know if I want to do that, or I don't know if I want to save that for a separate channel. Like, I've been debating on a lot of shit lately. Yeah, that bee. I don't know if you guys can see the bee. But honestly, now that you mentioned it, bro, I don't know if a toxic know-it-all exists. Like, I don't know if that's real. Because everyone, like, if you, like, let's say you get a group of, let's say you could put 100 men in front of you. All of these men are people that we call a know-it-all. But would they actually think they know it all? Like, do they truly think that? Probably not. They probably just know a lot about whatever the thing is that they get criticized for or whatever. I think it's all just ego. Like, truly. I think it's just either you have your ego under control or you don't. So if you don't, you're going to criticize other people. You're going to criticize how other people live. You're going to criticize how other people, whatever. Because it goes back to, well, other people are not our concern. So this is why it's like, I have friends that drink alcohol. I have friends that, I got friends that do meth, bro. I have friends that do cocaine. I've never done cocaine. I've never done meth. I do not drink alcohol, but I don't judge them. I don't judge any of them. Like, because why would I? It's not my business. They're not me. It's not my life. So because I have my ego under control, I look at people like, oh, that's what they do. Oh, that's what they think. Oh, like, I believe this shamanic shit. Some people believe the Christian thing. Some people believe the Muslim thing. You know, this goes back to something I said not too long ago in a comment. I said something because it was this thing about vegans. Well, kind of about vegans, but it was basically this thing saying, like, I wish that, like, meat eaters would, just admit to themselves that they're killing an animal and yada, yada, yada. But then, because I truly do this shamanic journey thing, I truly believe this. So I truly believe the plants are just as alive as the animals, because plants and animals are just a creation of Mother Earth. Like, so it's not, when a vegan thinks that the plants are feeding them, when a meat eater thinks that the animals are feeding them, they're wrong. The animals and the meat are not feeding us. Mother Earth is feeding us. So it's like, a vegan thinks the meat eaters are wrong. The meat eaters think the vegans are too extreme. But normal meat eaters also think the carnivore diet thing where all you eat is meat, we also think that's extreme. But if I told y'all my diet, you would think that's extreme. Like, it's extreme to just, like, I have this flaxseed mixture thing that I make, or like whatever, and then I also eat bananas, but that's my main source of food or whatever for right now, because that's just my thing. But so many people would say that's extreme. But why would it matter if it's extreme? Like, I get the vegan side, because people want to protect the animals, but because I have this shamanic thing, I want to protect Mother Earth, not just the animals, right? So, like, instead of me saying the vegans are wrong or criticizing the way they whatever, I just live my life. I just do what works for me. Like, that's that. And if you're someone that thinks your way is best for everyone else, that's the problem. That's an uncontrolled ego. Your way is not good for anyone besides you. I mean, it might be. That's the crazy thing. What works for me might not work for you, but it might. But that's why I stress, I would never tell someone to do what I do. I am just documenting my journey and documenting my thoughts, and just, this is what is for me. So, like, Gut says, where do I get DMT in the USA? Well, if you don't know, now you know. No, if you don't know, then you don't know. Like, DMT is found in many plants. DMT is found on certain spots of the internet. DMT is found inside of our pineal gland. DMT is found inside of our lungs. DMT is in every living being and every living thing. But yeah, my thing is, if you don't know how to get DMT or don't know where to find it, then it's not time for you to do it. Because most people are just better off using some mushrooms or some LSD or some whatever, because that's how. Well, guts. I love you, bro, but it seems like you gotta grow some guts. No. I was smoking weed way before they made it legal here. I'll tell you that. Slavery was legal. You know that, right? Slavery was legal in the USA. It was legal to have a slave. You need to follow your heart and soul, bro. If it's your time to smoke DMT, you'll find a way. If not, you won't. That's just life. And if you... I'm telling you, bro. Our awakening is on us. And the system around us has done so much things and put so many things in place to prevent us from awakening. They make it illegal to awaken our consciousness. They make it illegal, right? But basically, if you can't find DMT, it is festival season. Go to a festival. Like, hands down, that is the most easiest way to get psychedelics. You go to a psychedelic festival, and then you find the hippies, and then you ask them about some DMT. And bro, you might get some DMT for free. Like, the last few times that I've had DMT, I got it for free because it was randomly given to me. And I don't really smoke DMT that much anymore because I feel like I've done it so much that, like, I'm okay with just living on Earth, bro. Like, I'm just trying to love Earth. I want to love being a human for right now. But since it randomly came to me, I decided, well, I guess it's time, because I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't asking for it. I wasn't searching for it. It just found me. So, like, yeah. But if you're scared of the other thing, then, yeah, music festivals is the best way. DMT Infinity, I love you, bro. But no, that's why I said it the way I said it. Because, you know, I'm not telling somebody to do something illegal, but I am saying that I was smoking weed before it was legal. I am saying that slavery was legal. That I just think the people that make the laws, they're just human. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Weed was illegal, but now it's legal. So all the people that went to jail for weed, were they bad men? No, they're just following their soul in a world that makes that illegal. Bro, I could just stare at this all day. Like, I'll put you over. Oh. I'm so glad I filled my pen. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this up because I have no idea. I say this all the time. In my old live streams, I would smoke, right? And they're not deleted, but YouTube did age restrict all of them, so bro, I heard someone complaining about being age restricted, and I was sitting here like, bro, your content might not be for kids. That's fine. Like, I'm grateful that YouTube does age restriction instead of just deleting shit. People complaining about being shadow banned. I'm grateful that I'm shadow banned. Cause like, I don't know. And I guess maybe people care because they make money from YouTube. So it's like, it's their job. But I'm like, bro, I might have to get 2 normal jobs anyways. Like, I don't know. Life is what it is. And I guess it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning about perspective. That like, bro, life is just lifing. Like, life is lifing. And we're either lifing with it or living with it, or we're fighting it. And I'm just living, bro. Like, I don't know. That's what I was saying in the beginning. We gotta let go of our ego. And like, that whole term is misunderstood because like, obviously I still have an ego. And there's people that like try to criticize me because they're like, oh, you claim you're spiritual and you still have an ego. But that's them not understanding that you never get rid of your ego. You just control it. You just use it. It's a tool. The internet is a tool. The ego is a tool. Psychedelics are tools. But you can abuse a tool. You can misuse a tool. So many people misuse psychedelics, and then it's like 20 years of psychedelic usage, but they're still the same person they were before they started using psychedelic. Like, they're still the same person. They haven't grown. They haven't integrated the experience into their mind and into their life. Like, I don't know. The people that psychedelics don't work on, but they use psychedelics, I'd be thinking, like, they're just not integrating. They're just not adding it into the life. Like, before, years ago, when I would take psychedelics, it would give me the mind that I have now. Like, the mind that I have now when I'm sober, like the way I think, the way I talk, the way I analyze the world, my perspective of the world. The perspective I have right now when I'm sober, well, I'm high, but like when I'm not tripping, is the same perspective I have when I'm tripping now. Because I like took years and worked on myself, worked on my mind, worked on removing words from my head, adding new words into my head, removing concepts from my mind, adding new concepts into my mind, like facing the fact when I'm wrong, because it goes back to saying like I like being wrong, because that's how you integrate the psychedelic experience. Obviously, before being healed, we're wrong about something because we're not healed. So if we're not healed, obviously we're doing something quote unquote wrong, because we could be doing something different that could get us to being healed. We can think different thoughts that can make us feel better. Like, but sometimes we need to face what is. So if what is sadness or pain or problems or whatever, we need to face them and look at them head on. Like, these are all things I learned from psychedelics. I learned this from the experience itself. Like, me learning how to let go to DMT. And just like, I want to make a video about letting go, right? Because like, it's a term talked about, but like, I seen this thing that was a perfect example of letting go. Like, when you do the DMT and you're fighting it, like imagine you're fighting it and your whole body is like tensed up because you're fighting it. So it's like you have this squeezed fist and you're like, oh, and you're trying to fight it. But letting go is when you relax all the muscles, relax your mind, and just let it take you. It's like that thing of relaxing the mind and letting it take you. I just apply that to life, like to life itself. I don't fight it. I go through problems. Well, in the beginning, you fight everything. So, like, I went through a breakup, I fought it. I went through problems, I fought it. Whatever, but fighting it just made the pain worse. It just made the problems worse. So then eventually I had to let go to the pain. Just like you gotta let go to the psychedelic in order to have a true breakthrough experience with the psychedelics. So, like, it doesn't matter if it's mushrooms, LSD, DMT. Sometimes you gotta let go in order to get the boom out of it, right? Just like you gotta let go in life to get the boom out of life. Like to get the, I don't know, bro, because people are living, but they're not. They're like, I guess maybe because we get caught in living just to survive. We're living just to survive instead of living, like truly being alive. Because the way I look at it, bro, is I get this one chance to truly be alive. I get this one chance to try to become who I was meant to be. Like, this is why I don't look at it like whether I succeed or fail, how many views or likes I get. I don't care. It's not about that. It's not about the numbers. It's not about any of that. That's why I say I already succeeded. I'm already successful. And I have less money probably than anyone watching this. Like, because it's not about that to me. Because it goes back to what is success? What does that mean? What do all these things even fucking mean? Like, my success is that I finally became the person God wanted me to be. And I finally became the person I imagined. The mind that I had when I was tripping, I have now when I'm sober because I put that work in for so many years. And now I'm there. Wherever there is, whatever that means. But, like, I'm there. Like, I made a video about how enlightenment isn't real, but I'm starting to question my own belief on that. Because at the time when I said enlightenment wasn't real, I was letting other people's idea of enlightenment get in my head. Other people's egos, they have an ego perspective about enlightenment and these words. Just like people have an ego perspective of someone calling themselves a shaman, or people have an ego perspective of someone using psychedelics differently than them, or like we have this ego perspective, but yeah, I don't know. The fuck? I hate that I can't see if the fucking light is on my vape. I might start walking. It's not really windy, so like, but if I walk over there, I'm gonna have to walk all the way over there. Bro, DMT Infinity, that is the most dopest thing I've heard about the fucking ego. DMT Infinity says the ego should be seen as a child and raised as such. Holy fuck, bro. That is a great way to put it. Like, yeah. Because I feel like that's so true. Like, I treated my ego like I treat my daughter. Like, like, you don't. Children do shit, they say shit, they don't understand shit, they mess up sometimes, they break the rules sometimes, they whatever, but it's not out of like spite. They're not doing it like, I don't know how to explain, they're just kids. So it's fine, right? But when the ego starts fucking up, we are too hard on ourselves. Like, I you're not the person you want to be. It didn't work out the way you wanted. Yada yada yada. You made a mistake, but that's okay. People are so hard on themselves about it. Instead of like just looking at it, like, yeah, we make mistakes. We make wrong decisions. We fuck up. We whatever. As simple as the old me used to judge people. The old me used to like all this shit, but like I wasn't hard on myself. That's why I was able to grow. Because like, yeah, I was like, oh, when I found out, like probably like 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, but I found out I'm not the person I thought I was. You think you're a better person than you actually are. I thought I was something, but I found out I was nothing. But I didn't. Well, I don't know. I take that back. I guess I had to learn. Because I tell my daughter this all the time, but she doesn't really remember when she was young. But I was like, I wasn't always as good of a father as I am now. Right? Because I know how good of a father I am now. I wasn't this, 7, 8 years ago. But I obviously wasn't me 7, 8 years ago. I was still that gangster thug dude. But like, in the beginning, yeah, I was hard on myself. I was mad at myself. I was beating myself up. I was self-harming. Like, I had depression, anxiety, all these different problems, like, but eventually I had to start loving myself. Start treating myself like I treat my daughter, right? Like, that's, I feel like, how you heal the ego. Where you stop, like, you start loving the ego. I feel like that's the key. Start loving it. Not in like an ego way, like, oh, I love my ego. Like, no, but truly love it. And like DMT Infinity said, treat it like a child. Raise it. Take care of it. Let it know it's okay. That it messed up. You messed up. But it's okay. And if we could truly be softer with ourselves. Like, and I get it because I always talk about being hard, right? Because I'm like, yo, this world is tough. You gotta get stronger. You gotta build up that strength. But you also gotta build up your softness. Like, I might have a lot of strength and I'm tough as fucking nails. But I'm also soft as a fucking teddy bear. Like, I don't know. I have control over my emotions. But at the same time, I probably cry more than most men, right? Because I accept my emotions. I don't run from them. I accept what is. And I also, like, I think it goes back to treating the ego like a child when it's like, you're going to make mistakes. But, like, that's okay. We just have to move forward. And it's like you accept what is and you move forward. And if you accept what... I seen this video the other day from this older dude. And he was talking about how in the modern world, people talk about dying with no regrets. Right? And he said that's not a good idea. That a real man has regrets. And I was... What's the word? I was befuddled. Like, I was like... Because I've never heard that before. I've never heard that a real man has regrets. But as he explained it, bro, I wish I had my other phone so I could tell you guys his channel. I originally seen him on YouTube. He's this dude who, I think he raises horses or something. He's an older dude. Man, I wish I remembered his name. But he was just talking about how real men die with regrets. Or they have regrets. And what he meant is, You don't dwell on the regrets. You don't sit there like woe is me over the regrets. You use those regrets to become a better man. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, we must have regrets, so we must make mistakes, and we must accept that we've made mistakes, and that's how we grow. Like, by accepting that you weren't, like, I don't know, I wasn't the best man that I could have been for my ex. I wasn't the best man I could have been for my daughter 7 years ago, or even now. Like, I'm not the best man that I could be. And, like, I have some regrets about that. I have some regrets about not taking more action sooner, about not growing sooner. Like, the man I am now, why couldn't I have worked on becoming this 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Because I got comfortable just being. Like, I focused so much time changing myself for the past 10 years that I just wanted to be for a second, right? So 3, 4 years ago, I was just being whatever I was back then. Because, like, I was like, bro, I've been growing. I've been on this journey. I've been whatever. Now, like, I thought I was there. Like, just like I think I'm there now, but I think I'm more there now than I was back then. But, like, I don't know. It's a regret. I have regrets where it's like, I have, I gave a child up for adoption because I couldn't, raise it. I couldn't, whatever. And sometimes I regret that, right? But, like, I see that life is weird because I'm like, oh, I'm a better father now than I've ever been. But, like, I wasn't, though. I don't know, bro. Life is so funny, though. It's just like, it's okay to accept. This is why it's like accepting when we're wrong, accepting when we make a mistake, accepting. Like, that's speaking it, saying it, having the balls to. That's a regret. Like, it's if you have the balls to say, like, I wish I did that differently, that's okay. That'll make you a better man. It'll make you a better woman. Because you'll never be a better man or a better woman if you think you've made no regrets. Like, I get it, bro. I don't know. I've never heard having regrets being a good thing before, but I get it, though. I really do. Damn, it got cloudy. I was gonna say, where the fuck did the sun go? Whole sky over there is cloudy. Whole sky over there is not. But the sun is over there, so, like... DMT Infinity says, found a new clip for the DMT intro. Okay, I'm back live with you. I had to rewind the stream. Word. Nah, bro, you just blew my mind with that, with what you said about the ego. What time is it? Do I have time? It's 5:30. I'm like, do I have time to walk all the way the fuck over there? DMT Infinity says, Mark Dreams weather reports. Oh man, I don't want it to get windy on y'all though. If it gets windy, I apologize. I really want to walk to this other spot though. Like, really bad. So, I'm just going to. So, y'all can, I don't know, take a break or something. Smoke break, whatever you want, while I get to my destination. So I did this workout for the past like 2 days, right? But I'm in less pain from those workouts than I was when I practiced doing handstands for 2 days. I practiced doing a handstand for 2 days because I'm trying to learn how to do handstand push-ups. And like, I'm strong enough now to do a handstand push-up technically. I can't even do a handstand. I have no fucking balance. So I've been working on that. And the first day that I did like hours of practice for 2 days straight, that third day, bro, I haven't been in that much pain in a while since like working out. But like, I don't know, it was weird. Even my like hip hurt. And I guess it's because when you do a handstand, you kick off with your legs a little bit. So like, whatever muscle I was using, that shit was like in pain. Oh, DMT Infinity. I know you. Yeah, I was about to say DMT Infinity. I remember you said that. He said, oh, fuck. Speaking about tripping, I forgot I had psilocybin extract. I'm tripping tomorrow, the next day. Fuck yeah. I was gonna ask you if you, when I seen you mention it, I was gonna ask you how your trip went. But you haven't had it yet. So you definitely gotta let me know. DMT Infinity says, when you perfected the handstand, are you ever going to learn splits or anything along with yoga? Yes, actually. I would like to learn how to do splits. Because like I just wanna get better at all of this shit. So slowly I'm just trying to get my body in the best shape it can be. So like, after I get the handstand push-up down, I'd like to get more flexible so I can kick higher. Right now I can't kick that high because I'm not really as flexible. So I don't know if I want to be able to do a full split, but the more flexible I am, the higher I can kick. So learning an actual split might end up having to happen. It's really not that hot, but for some reason, right here is so humid that I feel like I'm in a shower with the door shut. and all the windows closed. Like, as I breathe in, it just feels so thick. Like, there's a lot of moisture in the air. Team Vinny says, man, yoga stretching can hurt so freaking bad, but the pleasure is like sex all over the body. Right. That happens to me sometimes. Like, sometimes when I trip, one of the first things I do is get a nice stretch in, you know, and like, I'm good enough where, like, I can stretch and I could bend all the way back and then push myself and then touch the thing with my hands and then push myself back up, and I could bend all the way forward and touch the ground with my flat hand. So I'm somewhat flexible, but sometimes I don't stretch for like a month, but because I'm working out, after that month, I start getting stiff and I can feel it. So then I'm like, yep, time for a stretch. Oh shit. Dropped my vape. Gotta get out of the tall grass. Random thought. Oh, mosquito's starting to get me. That's fine. But random thought. Never take anything personally. Like anything, right? Because it's usually never personal. Now, you'll know if it's personal. Like, if somebody's got a personal problem with you, like, you should know. Or, like, if someone has a personal problem with me and they don't got the balls to say it with me, then they don't really have a problem with me. But it's that thing that don't take things personally because it's not a you problem. Like, because it's not about you. Like, it's not about me. Like, you know how, like, I went through that breakup? And for a little while, I was taking it personally, right? But it's not about me. Like, humans are being humans. Humans are living their own life. So humans can make their own decisions. And it's like, I don't take it personally. If, like, I drop a video and it doesn't really get many likes, I'm like, okay. Like, and I get it that, like, the more likes I get, the more YouTube pushes out the video or whatever the fuck. But, like, I'm just living. It's nothing personal. Like, I understand that people are living and it's nothing personal. And I understand the whole, like, I don't know. It's just nothing. Don't take shit personal because it's usually not. You know? Somebody breaks up with you, it's not like it's their fault. They got something going on within themselves that they might have to deal with. Or there's a situation they're in that they don't want to be in. Or there's a... Like, but that's okay. Like I've said this before, like, I don't have any grudge or negative feelings towards anyone. Like, even people that have done me wrong, I don't take it personally. Like, I understand we all make mistakes. So, like, I've forgiven people that have done me wrong. But, like, that's because I don't take shit personally. If they make a mistake, they do it, they do something dirty or do, like, whatever. Like, I understand humans are humans. And we all make mistakes, and we're all, like, no one is perfect. And everyone is living their own life. So, that's why it's like, it's better just to not take it personally. and just understand it's just life. You might end up single. You might be blamed for something you didn't do. You might, like, I don't know, shit can happen in life. But it's not about whose fault it is. It's not about whether people did you dirty or not. It's not about whether they were right or wrong. It's not about any of that. It's about understanding it's not personal, and we all make mistakes. And yeah, you know how like they say saying sorry doesn't always fix the problem, and it doesn't, right? Saying sorry might not fix the problem, but it fixes something. It makes it usually so, we understand maybe it's not personal. Oh, damn. I just realized this tree that I was standing on. So this tree used to be standing up, right? And I knew it would fall eventually because the termites were eating it back like years ago. But this tree, and I need to find a way. I might try to do this with my friends this summer. Cut up a log, remove the bark from the log and put it right here. Because there used to be a log here with the bark removed where we could sit. And this is the first spot I sat right here when the log was here when I did my first LSD experience with my friend Phi and his wife. And we was like, we walked this whole path on my first LSD experience. And this is where we had our first pit stop. Where like, it was probably like 35 minutes or like 40 minutes after we took it or whatever. And we just sat down, we smoked a joint. And like, I like to smoke a little weed or a little THC or a cannabinoid or what. I like to get high right before a trip. Like it kind of helps me go into the trip. I've been doing that forever, I guess. Because like, almost all of my DMT trips, I smoked with weed. Like I did the sandwich method. But, holy shit, I think the water is low enough for me to go over here. If I fall in the river, you have my permission to laugh. Bro, look at how beautiful this is. Oh, now it stops. What the fuck is that noise? A cicada? A frog? These mosquitoes are loving me. I'm just gonna let them bite me. Mosquitoes are bad down here. I can see why nobody is down here right now. So, random thought. You ever notice how, like, if you ever go on a trip and you go for a hike, you ever notice how the mosquitoes don't really bother you? I don't know, maybe it's just me, or maybe whatever. But, like, I was thinking about how, like, every trip I've had down here, I've never even noticed mosquitoes. I don't know if it's because, you're tripping, so the psychedelic is, like, flowing in your bloodstream. So I don't know if it's, like, that's a turn off for the like mosquitoes, but this is what I mean. I just look at the world with such wonder, bro. Like, it's such I don't know. It's just so beautiful to me, like Earth. I was thinking this on my last trip. You know, when you trip sometimes and you're on a deep dose, you start thinking about death and whatever, and I'm like, one day I'm not going to be on Earth. And I was like, just looking up at the beautiful clouds and the trees and the river and I'm just like, Earth is so beautiful, it's crazy. Like, it's absolutely crazy. And it goes back to life is based on your perspective. So, like, whatever you're looking at, that's what you think life is. I just tend to look at the beauty of life, so I think life is beautiful. People tend to look at the bad parts of life, so people think life is bad. It's what you focus on. Without that frog or cicada, whatever the fuck it is, this is like, oh, it's so beautiful, so peaceful. Like, so I had a trip, right? And I recorded a few videos. I released one yesterday. And I don't know, like, if you guys know what the light language is or the DMT language, but before I got into using psychedelics, I was using DMT. So, like, I was using DMT before I ever tried LSD or mushrooms or anything else. So, like, I had so many experiences with these DMT entities and these beings and the city of light and this whole fucking thing and these gesture beings and this the whole thing. But they speak a certain language. Yes, like, yesterday when I released the video, I had someone comment saying that the song was a certain song, okay? But the words, right, didn't mean anything because it was the light language. But I was sitting in silence in my trip, and I started hearing this melody, this thing. I started hearing it in my head, but in the light language. So, like, I was on a high dose of LSD, and I seen, like, and I was sitting there in silence. And as I was walking through my house, sitting in silence, I was like, where is that coming from? And I thought it was the neighbors, but the neighbors weren't there. And then it was like, it's coming from within. So then I started hearing it, and I heard that it was the light language, like the DMT language. So then I was like, yo, bro, I gotta get this out. So then I recorded a video of it, right? And I started singing it. Now, apparently, that is the melody comes from some old song. But I haven't heard that song since I was a little kid in the 90s, bro. Like, I might have heard that song, and it's like I've never actually listened to that song. I might have heard it in a movie in the 90s or something. But I was like, so why was that song, that light language song, in the melody of this old song? And the song's definitely, it's not English, it's not an English song, but it's an opera song. And like last time I heard it might have been on like something like Tom and Jerry or something back in the 90s or like whatever. But bro, I was born in 1993. So in the 90s, I was young. So like after I figured that out, right, that it was like the melody of this old song, this old opera song, bro, I was another, I've been saying befuddled a lot, but like it had me befuddled, but like, because why was that melody in my head when I haven't heard that melody in over 20 years? Why was it in that melody? Why was it not in a melody of a song I've heard over the past year or 2 years or 3 years? Like, I was just listening to music before I sat in silence in my trip. So why was it that melody? It's so interesting. Psychedelics are so weird. Well, and they get weirder if you let them get weirder. Yo, bro, DMT Infinity, I appreciate that. DMT Infinity says, 1993, holy fuck, I keep forgetting how much older you are than me. Your energy comes off like a healthy 21 or 22-year-old. What the fuck? That's awesome, I'm glad. Because some of that is intentional though, because like, I understood that I was behind in life, so I'm trying to rewind the clock a little bit. That's why I started taking care of my skin, I started getting in shape, I started healing my mind, I started fixing my perspective on the world, so like trying to get my childlike perspective back, because as kids, the world is such a vibrant thing, but to adults, the world starts to get gray and blah, and you get in the been there's and done that's and the whole adult thing. But that's why it's like, no matter how many times I've been there and done that, bro, I learn something new every time. Like, I might know a lot about a topic, but if I'm talking with someone and they're like, don't want to talk about it because they're like, they know I know about the topic, I'm like, no, bro, talk about it. Because I have the chance to hear this topic from a different perspective. But that's why I posted the other day that old age is a myth. Now, obviously, old age is real, but to me, it's a myth. Because, like, we just need to take care of our bodies. Eat right, sleep well, meditate, like, learn how to release our feelings in a healthy way. So, like, life is gonna have bullshit that happens, and it's gonna make you sad, it's gonna make you mad, it's gonna whatever. But if you can find healthy ways to get it out, then that bullshit doesn't fuck your body and mind up. Like me going through the breakup I went through 2.5 years ago, it didn't fuck my mind up. It actually made me a better version of myself. Eventually. But like, there's so many people that go through a breakup and they're messed up for the rest of their life. Like, they're never the same in a bad way. When it's like, you can never be the same in a good way. Because I'll never be the same. Like, I'll never be the same man that I was 3 years ago. But in a good way. But when life happens to us, shit happens in life, so many people allow life to change them in a bad way. And it's like, yeah. That's why I really think having that childlike perspective is key. Because we're not adults, we're humans. We're not children, we're humans. Like, I don't know. I was having this conversation with my daughter the other day. Like, because we was watching some videos of her when she was 6. And bro, I was like, I said something, and it's like I didn't even think about it, but I was like, I was watching the video when she was 6, and I was like, man, that was my little homie right there, like for real. And like, my daughter was like, well, that's still me, I'm still your homie, and I'm like, yeah, of course, like you're still my homie, but it was different when she was a child because I learned how to be me from her, and now it's like, as she's getting older, she's forgetting how to be her because the world is trying to turn her into, an adult woman, or there's a certain perspective of what a woman is or what a human is, or there's certain ideas in the world. And at 6 years old, she didn't have those ideas of the world. She wasn't a girl when she was 6. She was just her. So there was this one video, she'd be mad if she knew I said this, but there was this one video, I'm not going to release it, I was thinking about it, but she was talking to the camera and shit, and she was so ready to say whatever was on her mind, but she was talking to the camera and she was being herself, then she licked her foot, and then she some other shit, whatever, but I was dying laughing, because now she has a little bit of fear to be herself. Now she has a little bit of she was taught, the world taught her to be scared about what people think about you. Because at 6, she didn't give a fuck. She was like, bro, I'm me. Ha, whatever. She was just her. And it's I learned that from her. This is why it's being a parent has taught me so much. I learned more from my daughter. Well, probably now we've learned just as much from each other. But I don't know, because I had my daughter, I was still that gangster thug dude. So I was learning from her certain perspectives that she had, that I'm like, oh, that's a interesting thing, how she was just herself, she didn't think about it, she would say whatever's on her mind, but then we're taught. We think growing up means becoming an adult, but really, I think it's about becoming yourself, but you were already yourself. When you were 6 years old, you were yourself. We think we have to change, and then we change, when the truth is, all we have to do is grow. We should keep that child perspective. We should keep, as we become adults, we should keep the thing of being the self. We should keep these things, but because the society we live in, it teaches us how to lose those things, how to turn the world gray, how to get depression, how to get anxiety. This is what the world teaches us. How to doubt ourselves, right? People doubt themselves. But we're taught to doubt ourselves because in the beginning, we don't doubt ourselves. We are just ourselves. And it's I really think this is a journey of me getting back to self. Like I say, I'm on this spiritual shamanic journey or the psychedelic journey or a spiritual journey, but really it's just a journey to get back to myself, to get back to me. Because now I'm the me that I was when I was 6, except smarter, wiser. But it's now the same me that I was when I was 6. And that's my thing. I don't ever want to lose that. I don't ever want to lose that perspective of I'm just me, and I'm just being, just like children are just being. But then when they get older, they start trying to be an adult, trying to be a man, trying to be a woman, trying to be whatever, instead of just, yeah, we gotta learn. So if you're learning something new, you have to try that new thing. But you don't have to try to be someone different. You just have to try new shit. But it's still you doing that shit. We think we have to change ourselves, but we don't. We think we gotta grow up. But what does that mean? What does it mean to grow up? Well, it's been over an hour, so I'm gonna get up out of here because I'm starting to walk back now. But I appreciate y'all for joining me, the people that were here live. I appreciate the people that are gonna watch this after the live is over. I just appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all.